Yeah, man, we had a big issue there. The microphone was not on, so you guys probably could not hear what I was saying. So we're gonna restart this. And yeah, break down this video right now. Prominent YouTuber and celebrity social media influencer Young Philly has been charged with 4 counts of rape and assault, sexual assault of a woman in Brisbane after a show. And yeah, it's not looking good for him at the moment. But we're gonna have Topical Juice break down this video, and we're gonna react to it and talk about what's going on.
From the UK, known as Young Philly, has been extradited from Queensland to WA, accused of serious sexual assault allegations following an incident in Perth. Straight to our reporter, Rachel Clifford, for the details. Rachel, the 29-year-old, has been charged with multiple offences.
Lara, they are serious offences. He's facing 4 counts of without consent, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, and 1 count of impeding another person's normal breathing or circulation. Detectives from the sex assault squad say the 29-year-old man assaulted a woman in her 20s in his Perth hotel room after he performed at an event in Hillary's on September 28.
Early in the morning,
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and we are back with another video for you today. Another disturbing video. Forget Young Philly, fam. We're calling him Young Diddy because we got another one of these youths, bro. Another one of these.
Young Diddy, you know. Young Diddy, that's a violation. But if you don't know, right now, Diddy, there used to be a lot of rumours and conspiracies about Diddy touching what's it called again? Young boys and people within the industry, women, and abusing them. But it's come out to be true. He's been caught on camera abusing one of his exes. On top of that, the police just raided his yard and they found essentially just a sex ring in there. And there was loads of lace baby oil and all sorts of madness. But yeah, not to get too deep into that. Yeah, this guy was touching young guys, young girls within the industry, drugging them, having orgies, all this sort of stuff. And he was getting away with it because of his positioning within the industry and his leverage and power. Because the entertainment industry is quite a nepotist industry. So because of that, because it's really through association and the people you know, those within that position of power can take advantage of that. And it's quite a prominent thing within the culture. It's just that people don't speak up about it. So now a lot of this stuff is coming out. People are surprised, but it's been going on for longer than we know. But yeah, we're going to watch this video and properly break down and analyse what my guy's talking about and his perspective on things, and we'll react to that.
Insecure men who have to assert themselves over women in a physical way. And if I'm being honest with you guys, straight off the bat, I'm not actually surprised by this allegation. Now, I'm going to try and be careful and not shit on a person when they're down, innocent until proven guilty and all of that. I do believe that, but I also believe victims. Yeah, and from what I know about Philly, from Mandem, from the ends, yeah, from factually, from my friends, and one of my best friends he tried to move to previously, he's tried to speak to my best friend before, and the way he does it, it's very entitled. He believes that women should just come to him, or if they don't reply in 10 seconds, he starts getting pissy. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the messages from years ago. So I've always looked at Philly wrong. I've never really been his biggest fan, if I'm being honest, because I know what he's potentially capable of with women. So this breaking news that I've seen this morning, I'm not surprised in the slightest, guys. I'm not. But either way, guys, I've actually got to rush and get this video out as soon as possible, so I'm meeting one of my other best friends. So let's just get straight into this video, guys. If you can like this video, it really means a lot and it pushes the video out to the wider community. If you like me, if you like my content, please do consider pressing that subscribe button. Press the bell to be notified, and of course, if you want to support your boys' Patreon, hit that link in the description below. Last weekend's video was about Jay-Z, and I think this weekend's video is going to be about Trey Songz and his history of violence. And look at that, right on cue, right on theme. We're talking about Young Philly and his history of violence. It's all nuts. As you can see on the screen right now, it says British YouTuber Young Philly arrested in Australia on rape charges. YouTuber Young Philly, real name Andres Felipe Valencia Barrientos, it's too early for this man, has been arrested in Australia over an alleged SA. On Tuesday, the rapper and internet personality was arrested in Brisbane and extradited to Perth on Wednesday. The rapper has been accused of SAing a woman in her 20s in his Perth hotel room on September the 28th after a performance at nightclub bar 120 in Hillary's on the night of September 27th. And as you can see from these pictures, we can clearly see that young Philly was in Australia, as the proof's here. He's in Perth, Bar 1 nightclub. And he even spoke to the camera about autographs in one clip posted by the club. Bro, you're going to be signing Mandem's arse cheeks in jail, bro. As you can see here, it says Barrientos.
That's it. I want to repeat for that.
Wait for that. Oh, what?
But that's a violation, man. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, man. Yeah.
Motherfucker. Fatherfucker. Friend fucker. Sister fucker.
If it's true, he gets what he deserves, man. I hope, yeah, man, they do with him in there, man, because, yeah, man, if it's true, he's a wrongin'.
Has been charged with 4 counts of, sexual without consent and 3 counts of assault. He has also been charged with 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. Now, I'm going to stop there. What is with these Solo 45 dons? You lot know about Solo 45, yeah?
If you don't know about Solo 45, it's an old story, but it's quite a crazy one. So Solo 45, back then he had a big song called "Feed 'Em to the Lions." In fact, I'll see if I can get it up.
Smoothies with more fruit, veg and vitamins to help your defenses than we can fit in a 6-second advert.
ProPlan. High quality nutrition developed with Purina Vets.
I'm not even gonna read out them comments, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the whole tune, but yeah, you get it. You don't really deserve to have his tune played in it because he's a wrongin'. But yeah, he was associated with the legendary collector BBK coming out of North London, and probably the most prominent people that is known as Skepta, JME, Jammer, to list just a few names coming out of BBK. But he was originally associated with them until this came out, and it's not looking good. So grime artist Solo 45 sentence increased to 30 years for raping and imprisoning women. It goes further. Solo 45, whose real name is Andy Anoke, was found guilty of 21 rapes, 5 counts of false imprisonments, and 2 counts of assault by penetration, and 2 of actual bodily harm at Bristol Crown Court last July. So, yeah, he's a wrongin' times 1,000s. He was essentially like torturing women, not only just raping them and essaying them, but torturing them. So yeah, he's basically saying he's another one of these, man. So it's not looking good, man.
The BBK don. What is with these insecure rapper/internet personalities who have got clout, who have got fame, they've got money, they can get girls legitimately, consensually, conventionally, but yet they have to exert themselves and assert themselves in such a violent manner? Now, as I said, I choose to believe.
I say a lot of it usually is trauma. Someone did something to them and hurt people, or mental health, or psychologically just being, you know what I mean, just a wronging in it. Your brain is functioning wrongly and you are just a twisted person. But usually it comes down to childhood trauma and things that have happened to them, and they start doing that to other people. That's sometimes how these things go. It's just sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, also it comes down to personal choices as well. A lot of these people, like I said, some of them are just have a wrong set of mind. They're just bad mind. They choose to indulge in certain things, and it corrupts them, and so they go out and corrupt the world.
Victims. This woman is saying that he strangled her basically and actually raped her without consent.
But honestly, I couldn't know, man, because I don't know what would make someone go and do that, if I'm honest. Like, it's just, it's deeper than just a psychological thing. It's a culture within the industry. I think it's more so to do with leverage, power, and yeah, just a corrupt culture that happens within the entertainment industry that, like I said, because of people don't want to upset, because it is very nepotist and it is very much who you know that gets you to certain positions. People want to take advantage of their position of power to do things like this, from Epstein to prominent, I forgot, in the Me Too movement, but there was a whole bunch of people that came out and got exposed. But yeah, on the flip side of things though as well is that because it's very nepotist and people do want to associate themselves with these people in position of power, people don't speak out when something happens because they're afraid that if I do X, Y, and Z, that I'll be blacklisted from these potential job roles or these potential business opportunities, or essentially just money in it. So it comes down to money as well, and the culture that promotes, as well as mentally ill individuals, trauma and other things as well. There is a culture that clearly exists that isn't spoken about, because it profits a lot of people within certain industries, and on a wider level, certain elites that indulge in it, from the people within the aristocracy, so people that function from there within the legacy media, to government, to yeah, it's much more widespread than we actually like to admit. It's just not spoken up about enough. That's the thing.
You're telling me you can't find a woman that wants to get down with you? Like, what's wrong with these youths, bro? Today, Barrientos will face Perth Magistrates Court and is currently awaiting bail. ABC Australia reported that the rapper is being defended by Perth barrister Seamus Rafferty SC. After applying for bail, the application was opposed by the police prosecutor Julius De Petro, who told Rafferty, "This has already made headlines, bruh. Given the nature of social media, the nature of people jumping on bandwagons, given the nature of the power imbalance between the parties, photos were also provided to the magistrate of images of the woman's injuries, so proof. The prosecutor said of the images, no ordinary person can consent in those circumstances. It was also added across her body is a history of violent acts. We can say those photos and what is alleged is beyond pale, beyond what could be considered a consensual act. It said no ordinary person can consent in those circumstances. It says her body shows a history of violence that you put inflicted on her. What's wrong with these youths? Genuinely. And once again, I'm going to be keeping my ear to the ground. I'm going to be watching and observing all the dons that I've been seeing with this guy. What's my man called? Chunks and Philly, they go hand in hand. You hear it in all the rap videos. Something, yeah, like Philly and Chunks. Them lot of brethrens. Chunks. What's your thoughts, Chunks? You know what I'm saying? In fact, Philly's been seen with Bear Man, all the rappers, all the socialites, TV personalities. Philly's been seen with all of them. He does the charity matches. Fam, the way I see it, bro, is there's a reason why you don't see me with these youths. Yeah, they may not even know who I am. It's not like I get invited out by these guys and I tell them no, I don't get the invite. But it's like, I'm not like these man. I'm just not. I'm just not like these man. I'm just not. You not see me in these industries, UK.
That's an important thing as well, because like I said, in order to, it's a much more widespread thing in terms of the way a lot of the Western industry, and because the West has Western hegemony by proxy of, one, European empires and colonialism, and then two, capitalism, you understand, they dominate within the industry of entertainment. Most of the entertainment that's consumed is American media and entertainment, and a lot of the companies based in the UK or in Europe are kind of either sister companies or they're direct subsidiaries, you understand. They're owned by American companies if they're not owned by the state. So we can talk about on a national level, yeah, in the UK, but what happens in the UK happens in Hollywood. It happens across the board, and the center is Hollywood, but it does branch off to these other places like the UK, like I said, and yeah, it's a much more widespread thing than we like to believe, because of the natural socialite behavior that you have to do within this industry. So because people have to network to know the right people to get certain things done, it's not just based on your talent or on your skill. Because you have to do that, and because especially more time if you're independent, you're freelance or whatever, because you're not working for a major corporation. But even within then, you still have to do that for a major corporation. You end up having to go to a lot of events and parties where you might put yourself in situations which might compromise yourself or your values or and so forth. So it's about finding that balance between knowing where you want to be, but not just, you know, fully plunging yourself in all these situations where, these situations you might, get something out of it, but if you have no sense of control while you're in, then you leave yourself to be taken advantage of or associate with people that might compromise your brand or your values or what you represent or what you stand for. So yeah, man, I respect Topical Juice and saying that I can understand where he stands and saying he's not trying to be seen where all these other people are seen. Do you get what I'm saying? He's trying to cut through, do his thing where he needs to be, socialize where he needs to be. Other than that, he's not trying to. I understand that and I respect that. And to a certain extent, I move the same way as well. Because yeah, man, there's just enough weirdos, man, in this industry, bro. And kind of get passed off as being super creative, but it's right there in your face. They're letting you know who they are under the guise of creativity. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Industry dons, because me, I'm in my own lane and I like it like that. I carve my own lane, I stay in my own lane, I report my own stuff. If you fuck with me, you do. If you don't, that's also okay. Yeah, but I don't fuck with these youths. And there's a reason why. The energy was always off. And from what I knew about Philly and from what man's heard about Philly,
from what I've heard about Philly, like a lot of people I know personally have said he's a bit of a weird guy. I don't know him personally. I mean, I must have run into. He's part of the Sidemen, and I think Nico Malai. I must have bumped into him once in Northwest London, where I'm based between Northwest London and North London. But yeah, I haven't met Philly personally. But what people have said, their anecdotal experiences or what they know about him or from what they know about people, is a bit of an odd person.
I'm not surprised about this. Now, does he deserve a fair trial? 100%. You shouldn't be punished before you've even been convicted. But the way I see it is this woman's got proof. This woman's got evidence. You've been charged 4 counts. I believe the victim. You know what I'm saying? I believe her. If it was coming out about someone that I haven't heard dodgy stories about, I'd be more inclined to potentially defend them a bit sooner. You understand? I'll always believe the victim until proven otherwise, because it's always safer to do that. The victims lie 100%. Are all the victims in Diddy's case being 100% truthful? Most likely not. Yeah, but it's always safer. It's a dangerous mentality if you can just, by default, all of a sudden hear something about someone and just assume the victim's lying and believe the perpetrator. That's not a good mentality. That's dangerous, and it's enabling. And there's no way the Chunkses of the world and all these youths, the Harry Pineros of the world, I've done. He's a bookie youth as well, talking about doing stories about beating while this girl. Like while some girl was baby in the room and all this stuff and all this disrespectful stuff. I'm like, these men are weird. So there's no way here I can believe that these youths, Harry's, Junkses, all these, are they Beta Squad or Sidemen? I forget. Sorry if I'm throwing you lot under the bus. I don't actually watch these guys. I just see them on social media. And I'm sure they don't watch me either. But there's no way these friends of his didn't know what his type of behaviour was. Because you can even see it in the comment section. Like people, not everyone's surprised by this, but he deserves a fair trial, he deserves a fair shake, and we'll see what comes out. But if you know you did this, bro, you might as well plead guilty and get this over with, man. You can start holding pockets in Australian jail, bro. You know them ones there. I'm sure you got enough peace.
Let's just stop holding pockets in jail. I don't know if you've seen Prison Break, but that basically means you're someone's bitch, fam. Ah, shit.
Wait for that. Oh, what?
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. But
motherfucker. Fatherfucker. Friend fucker. Sister fucker.
But yeah, nah. To summarize, it's not looking good for young Philly right now. What do I think personally on it? Well, if I try to break it down from just the legal perspective, I'm not a legal expert, so I'm just going to talk on from what I know of how cases are broken down, but I'm not by no means a legal expert. Is the evidence is not looking good for Philly. However, to play devil's advocate for him, they haven't got any footage of him inflicting those injuries on him, on the women, or no DNA evidence has been brought forward. But it's kind of void because she was in his hotel, so it's and yeah, people can say, oh, why did she go to his hotel after a show? To what's called again, she clearly wanted, but still that doesn't what's called again, just because a woman goes to a hotel looking to have fun with a guy doesn't mean she deserves to be abused, sexually assaulted, or raped, or any of those things. Some people might say, oh, this is the only other thing I can say is that both women and guys, certain ones like to be strangled and all of this stuff, but I haven't seen the photos, so I don't know the extent to the injuries, but from the description it sounds like it's a lot worse than just a simple strangling or any do you understand? And even then, people that usually are into these sort of stuff, something happened to them, it might come from a place of trauma. I don't believe it's all just kink. So yeah, the argument against isn't going to be that strong. I think the evidence they have against him now isn't looking good. And the fact that he's also being charged, and they have the photos, they have the location, and this stuff isn't looking good. A lot of the stuff he says in this video, this is just is like anecdotal stuff that will probably be that added on top that might influence the jury, and it might not make him look good. But I don't know if that's something like evidence his character, him being weird, and people saying, oh, he's a bit weird, and unless what's it called again, the people my man knows, they said, oh, it wasn't just, he spoke weirdly to me, but that it was some sort of he sexually assaulted me as well. And but the thing is with the legal court of law is just because what's it called again, something isn't proven legally doesn't mean it didn't happen on both sides. There's a issue nowadays of women what's it called again, falsely claiming men have sexually assaulted them or raping them for whatever reason, financial gain, emotional abuse. I think the Johnny Depp situation, I believe not Johnny, what's my man's name, is it Johnny Depp, the actor? He had a very famous case, but still most rape cases actually go unsolved. And this is me saying as someone that knows, not someone personally, but has friends that know people that have been falsely accused and had their lives ruined because of it, like the Johnny Depp situation. Still, most rape cases go unsolved, and like I said, it's a lot more widespread in the industry. The problem is people don't what's it called again, speak out about it, and for the victims, they might feel embarrassed because of the culture and feeling shamed if they don't get proven in a court of law. So what he's saying is very valid, but still a lot of it is to do with his character, which is true. I personally think Philly's a bit of an odd guy, and if we're going based off his character alone, I think it points to, I wouldn't be surprised, put it that way. But just going off the evidence alone is what will be, I think, focused on in court. And evidence isn't looking good, but if he has a good lawyer, he can still potentially fight it. But from what is being presented, what I would say legally in a court of law, I think he's going to be found guilty. But irrespective of that, based on his character and based on what I feel and think, I don't think it's looking good, and I think he might be a wronging. And yeah, man, I think what is the problem within this industry of allowing this stuff for people to get away with this stuff? Not just women, but guys as well. But in particular, the people that are vulnerable within the industry are going to be minorities, women, disabled people, young people. These are the people of color. These are the people that are vulnerable. So it's just a shame, really, that if we think about it this way, if we know that the industry is already what's the word? What was I gonna say? It's a cesspit, you know what I mean? It's hell. it's a valley of shadows, and certain people have the best of the best only can get, then what does that mean for the vulnerable set of people? It means essentially they're guaranteed to be abused in the valley of shadows, to use, I don't know, a shitty metaphor, but to get what I'm saying is that, yeah, we can say Phillies are wrong in today, but if we don't address the wider culture, this thing's going to keep on going. So I think it's something that really needs to be addressed. This is the year of revelation. I believe a lot of stuff is going to get brought from the shadows into the light. So there's a lot more of these wrongings out there, and they're in a lot of high up places. People would be surprised. A lot of it being the allegations that have been put against them have been denounced as conspiracy, but the evidence is now coming there. And even if the evidence is there, like I said, just because something isn't proven in the court of law doesn't mean it didn't happen. And especially within a capitalist system that we exist, money speaks. So the same way people use money in their positioning to abuse these people is the same way they can use money in their positioning to leverage themselves within the legal criminal justice system to have an advantage, because money speaks. And often victims, most of the time, the reason you're a victim is because now at nature you weren't in a position of power. So you were in and this is not me victim blaming, this is just a matter of fact. Victims, the reason they are vulnerable is because they're not in that position of power, and someone is taking advantage of that, which you should never do. You should never take advantage of someone that you are in a higher position of power of. So the fact that is clearly a factor that is consistent within this industry lets me know that, yeah, we got to deal with a Philly, but we got to address the wider culture. This thing is still going on. There's a lot more people that need to be exposed that are doing this thing, and it doesn't make it safe for women. It doesn't make it safe for, like I said, all the other vulnerable groups of people that work within any industry. You got to think about it, but you got to think about now, contextualize that with the fuckery that are going on within this industry, and you think, yeah, take aside all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, YouTube and entertainment, take aside that and just think, would you want this to happen within your workplace? Would you want this to happen within your friendship group and the people you associate with, your colleagues? You get what I'm saying? You wouldn't. So why is this happening within entertainment in particular? And why is this happening with those that have money and power? Why are they enabled to do this within the society so consistently? So yeah, man, people need to speak up. Big up Topical Juice. Phillies are wronging, allegedly, and it's not looking good for him. But you know what I mean. This is how people have to get dealt with. You get what I'm saying? If my man's got a whole pockets in, you get what I'm saying. He's got a whole pockets. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, this is Frontline Media. And we're out, man.